Digital real estate is going to be massive, and if you understand what is to come, you can potentially make a very lucrative investment opportunity. And when it comes to digital real estate, surprisingly, it's nothing new. We have been living in a world of digital real estate for many, many years. Even when we speak about the metaverse in the future, we already live in a metaverse. However, it's a 2D metaverse. But as technology improves, we will transform into a 3D metaverse that will be a lot more immersive. And this 3D metaverse and this world of virtual land, digital real estate, will be 100 times larger than what we have today. Actually, it'll be 1,000 times larger than what we have today, maybe even more. And in this video, we are going to discuss digital real estate and why it's valuable. And if that sounds good to you, make sure to hit the like button. It really helps support the channel. And with that being said, let's get into the content. Welcome aboard the Bitcoin Express. My name is Chase. Let's get to it. Some of the most expensive domain names ever sold were business.com for $345 million, lasvegas.com for $90 million, and carinsurance.com for $49 million. And the reason why people paid so much for these domain names is because they believe that in the future, this is where people will live. This is where people will want to be. Because when it comes to domain names, this is a form of digital real estate, an earlier version. And there is no shortage of domain names. If I wanted, I could buy vacation rentals, except not as a .com. So .com ended up being where people want to live, where people want to be. This is the domain name that captures attention. But if I wanted vacation rentals, I can get vacationrentals.events for $14.99. I can get vacationrentals.email for $5.99 and so on. But this is not where people live. This is where they will not be in the future. At least I don't think they will be here in the future. This is why it is so cheap. And it's no different when it comes to virtual land. People will buy the land and pay a premium for land that they believe people will be using in the future, that they will be living in the future. So when it comes to digital real estate for the metaverse or virtual land for the metaverse, there is no shortage of land. If you go to OpenSea and you explore and look through virtual worlds, you will see there are so many different virtual worlds and so many options for buying virtual land. But like the domain name, you might end up buying something that no one really cares about in the future. So the simple goal, I guess it's simple just to say it, but to actually practice it is a lot harder, is buy virtual land, digital real estate in a virtual world or a metaverse that you believe people will be living in the future. And you might be wondering, this sounds all crazy to me. What would someone do with virtual land? Why would they pay so much money for it? And really, it's no different than what someone would do with physical land. When someone buys physical land, they look at the building, they look at the property, the area around it, the natural resources, and so on. Let's say, for example, New York City. When someone buys land in New York City, the reason why it's so expensive is because this is where a lot of people live. There are businesses there, there are restaurants, there are bars, there are companies, there are events, there are museums, there are concerts, and so on. And because of this, people pay a lot of money. And when it comes to these virtual realities or these virtual worlds in the future, people will be paying a lot of money for these pieces of land for the same exact reasons. Because with virtual land, one of the biggest things that we'll see in the future is marketing. Maybe you're lucky enough to purchase land today that maybe in 10, 20 years is the next New York City, the next Tokyo, or the next London. And big companies will come to you and say, hey, we want to market on your land. We're going to pay you a lot of money. Maybe they'll even say we want to rent out your land, or maybe they really want it and they'll buy it from you. Companies will set up e-commerce stores on these lands. They'll either rent it from you if you own the land, or they'll buy it from you. There will be events, there will be activities, there will be parties, there will be museums, and so on. Really, anything you could think about in the physical world will be in the digital world. I would say that digital real estate is more similar to physical commercial real estate than it is to physical residential real estate. People will pay a lot of money for areas that they believe people will be living in and having fun in the future. That is where the eyes are. That is where the attention is. And you might be listening to all this thinking this is all crazy, right? But this is already happening. Like I said, we already have a 2D metaverse, right? You sit at home, you order food or drinks to your apartment, right? Or to your house. You have Netflix. You communicate with your friends on Zoom, or even right now, we're speaking through YouTube, right? We already live in a 2D metaverse and it will become a 3D metaverse. And we've already seen concerts even, for example, in centralized worlds such as Roblox, hosting a Lil Nas X event, or even in a decentralized platform coming soon, Snoop Dogg is hosting a private party in the Sandbox. Sandbox is one of the more popular NFT virtual world projects at the moment, and this can change in the future. But at the moment, this is where a lot of eyes are, and they're partnered up with Snoop Dogg, The Walking Dead, The Smurfs, Atari, and others. And if you go to the Sandbox map, which I will leave a link for down below if you want to check it out, you can scroll through and see there are many big companies or big names that are buying plots of land in the Sandbox. Again, will it be here in 10 or 20 years? I have no idea, but at the moment, this is the bet that these early companies are making. Remember, it's no different, like I said earlier, than buying a piece of land or buying a store on Fifth Avenue in New York City. People pay a lot of money for those properties because they believe that in the future, that's where people will be walking through every day. That is where people will be hanging out, where they will be living, where they will be spending money, and so on. And when it comes to something like the Sandbox, this land can be purchased on the Sandbox marketplace or on something like OpenSea. And you will notice that with some of these projects, these virtual land projects, you'll be able to purchase them with Ethereum or with the project's native token, right? For example, with Sandbox on OpenSea, some items can be purchased with Ethereum, others can be purchased with the Sandbox token. And in terms of getting the Sandbox token, or really any token for that matter, I will leave a link down below for a video on how to access any cryptocurrency you can think about, whether it's from a centralized exchange or a decentralized exchange. Another very popular metaverse project at the moment is Decentraland. And this is not really a shock because in previous videos, I referenced this report, the Blockchain Development Trends of 2021. And in this report, it was going through metaverse projects and NFT projects, saying how most of them are closed source or maybe don't have a lot of people working on them, right? Not a lot of developers, but there is an exception. A notable exception is Decentraland, which has development activity on the levels of some major blockchain technologies like Stellar and Algorand, and the head of some of the most popular DeFi protocols like Uniswap and Compound. And this is very important. The reason is because more than just the actual virtual land, there's also the governance of the protocol. Think about physical real estate. There might be a nice building in a nice area with nice weather, but in terms of investing, someone also has to look at the area, the politicians, and the governors and think, will this place be governed into the ground in 10 years from now? Will this still be a desirable place for people to live? So it's very important when it comes to virtual land as well, to look at the project, but not just the project, but the governance or the team, the developers behind it, because that will be very important in determining whether this project will be around in 10 years from now. Because remember the goal of this video. Will people be hanging out in that metaverse in the future, in 10 years from now, right? So the governance, the team behind these projects is very important. And when it comes to something like Decentraland, they also have their own marketplace, and they also have assets that can be purchased on OpenSea. Again, I will leave that link down below on how you can purchase Mana if you want to. This is accessible, it's on Coinbase even. And you will notice that with Decentraland, for example, it's not just land, but there are other items as well. Because when using these virtual worlds, the way they keep people on these platforms, which is the goal, is to gamify it. These metaverse platforms are basically a game, right? People will enter, but you need to keep their attention. You need to keep them on the platform. So for example, with Decentraland, they created a limited amount of land, and each piece of land has different rules. For example, dark gray land is privately owned land parcels and can be bought and sold on the marketplace. There are districts that are purple. Those are privately owned themed communities, not for sale. Plazas, large green squares. Area of the map where players are expected to respawn and generate high footfall. Plazas are not for sale. So every project will create their own rules for a game in order to keep people on the platform. And when it comes to these games, this is more of artificial scarcity as opposed to more of a natural scarcity you get in the physical world, right? When you buy land, right, how close is it to the ocean, or what is the weather of the area? How often does it rain on that land? That's more natural, but over here it is artificial. And another example is something like NFT Worlds. And I'm not talking about this project because I want you to buy it or not to buy it, but I thought it would be a great example to show you how gamification works. So with these NFT Worlds, they're taking digital worlds and they're trying to make them similar to physical worlds. So each NFT has different properties, right? Is it near the water? Is it near the forest? Is there wildlife? Is there gold? Is there oil? Again, this is all fake. It's all artificial scarcity, but these are the rules that are set by the game. So we're gonna have all of these NFT worlds. Like I said, there is no shortage. There will be so many different NFT worlds and metaverse worlds and real estate that you can purchase, but there will be a shortage of the land that's actually desirable, the land where people will want to live. And people will want to live or have fun or hang out in the virtual worlds that keep their attention in that world. And this will rely heavily on what we spoke about in this video, how the game is set up, and also the team behind it, the governance and developers. Because like we said with physical real estate, you might have a perfect piece of real estate in the moment, but the politicians of that area or the government can run that place into the ground, right? So the same thing here with these projects as well. And once you do have these projects in the future that people will be living in, that they'll be hanging out in, again, I'm going to review again, there are so many things you can do, right? If you own the land, people want to market on your land, right? Because you're in the center. This is where the eyes are. Or people may want to have an e-commerce store on their land. They'll rent the land from you, or maybe they'll buy it from you. There will be intellectual property, blogs, arts, museums, events, concerts, really anything you could think about in the physical world will be in the digital world as well. I hope that you learned something in this video. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.